Hello, and welcome back to the More Than Mindset Show. I am your host, Kim Guillory, and I have a guest with us today. We're going to be talking all about coaching and coach training and relationships. Her name is Meg Lamm. You've heard her on the show before if you've been following for a while. Today, Meg is going to do a deep dive into the results of being in coach training, the unexpected from coach training, the things that changed in her relationship, and what she is doing with that today. So, welcome to the show, Meg.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here again. I can't believe I'm here again. Like a
What
dream come true.
what last time I think it was about the money you were making, if I'm not mistaken. It was about the six-figure earners and stuff like that. But
Yes,
I don't think we've
exactly.
ever interviewed you on mind body coach training and like what's happening somatically in the body and the physical stuff and the relationship stuff. So cool.
No, no.
We will do that today.
Yes.
So let's start off with just give those who haven't even listened to the previous show, what would you tell them about yourself?
I am a integrative mind body coach that specializes in relationships, and I have been a massage therapist, and I am currently making my exit. I have an exit strategy for exiting out completely of bodywork and becoming a full-time coach and mentor.
Amazing.
Would not have done this without coach training.
So let's talk about how we met. We were on social media. I think you
Mhm.
came in through a mutual friend, or did you bring in a mutual friend? How did you first find out what is integrative mind body coaching? What is this Kim Gilry girl doing? Why did you start following? Like, what
Yes, I
piqued your
started following
curiosity?
you. We were in a group. You and I were in a group together. And then I followed you on Facebook, and I loved what you were doing because it was more than just hypnosis. It was more than just NLP, right? Because I had started down those roads. I had been doing subconscious mind work
So
already.
if there was a Jess Lively
Yes.
connection,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it was like the inner voice, like something on that, like more of the subconscious work kind of thing that
And
she was talking
yes,
about. That was a
exactly.
long
And
time ago.
she had a small group. You had to pay like $27 or something like that, or $37 to get into the group or something. I don't
I
know.
don't I don't know
But
that I did that. I was bored. I remember coming or going to Pittsburgh or like whatever. There was a show, there was a live thing. I was somehow
yes, I
nearby
didn't do that.
and I
I
went
didn't
to
do
that.
that one.
That's how I got involved.
Okay. I wonder, that's where our worlds came together. And then
Okay.
I started following you. And I was already doing subconscious mind work. I was already doing the NLP. I was already doing the hypnosis. I had already been certified in those things.
Okay.
But you were talking about it in terms of how it related to the body, like that you absolutely believed that our mind has an effect on physical symptoms that we experience, whether it's pain or like whatever chronic things are in the body. And I was like, I am interested in that because I believe it too. I just didn't know how it worked. I'm like, she has a way of getting in there, and it's not like forcing, but it's
Interesting. So you were seeing it as a massage therapist? That's
yes.
why it piqued your curiosity. So, guys, we're
Mhm.
just kind of reminiscing, trying to find. It's been a lot of years. I
Yeah,
do
so many
remember
years.
Meg following. She was commenting a lot. It's like you were asking questions. You'd come to all the live calls,
Yeah,
but you
and you did
weren't
like
like
all
coming
these
into anything.
meditations. Mhm. Mhm.
And I was like, "Who is this girl?
Why
What
is
is
she so
going on?"
obsessed with me, but
Yeah.
never actually pulls the trigger?
Well, I didn't I
Mhm.
didn't really know what it was, and I don't think we really got it had an intimate anyway, we don't spend a lot of time on that, but I do remember the day I said I had one spot left, and you sent a message and you said, "I think it's me."
That was me. I wanted e-school because I knew that I did want to make a transition into full-time coaching.
There it is. And guys, for those who don't know what eSchool is, just so you know, we've changed this name so many times, but it's the
Mhm.
same exact thing. It is functional business strategy. eSchool was school for entrepreneurs. We just keep changing the name of it, but it's the same exact thing. It's foundational. And it's where we help practitioners make money, period. Okay, let's talk about what were your expectations of coach training and then what actually occurred.
My expectation of coach training was that I was going to get another modality. You know how you get like,
Yep.
oh, you get the hypnosis. Oh, you get this whatever, like family thing, like, right? Like there's all these modalities. And I thought I was going to be another modality.
Okay.
What it was, and that I was going to learn how to use that modality with my clients.
Okay. Because you were watching me coach and you knew I was coaching differently. And I remember you saying I kept watching, but then I couldn't figure out how to do it.
So that was what I kept trying to do was I wouldn't go into coach training, everyone. Okay, listen, I wouldn't go into coach training because I was certain that I could figure it out just by being in your other groups and you watching. Because I was like, I don't need another certification. I never could. I just couldn't. And I was like, I want it. I am done trying. Why am I suffering? Why am I?
It's so interesting because what she's saying for those of you who are listening, who you're already certified, you're already trained, and you're like, I already have that. I don't need that. But what you get in coach training is an actual training, it's application. And
Mhm.
so you don't already have it if you're not doing it. It's that simple. But you're so oversold on everything else that you think it's just being, we're just selling the same thing. Yeah, we haven't quite found the words for that yet. But I remember that when you were done, because you were making more money now, and you were like, I really want to know, I really want to understand this mind body thing. And but you were not sold on coach training. I took your money and we started working one on one.
We started doing one-on-one. I'm still convinced at that time that me getting coaching from you, I'm going to learn what you're doing.
Okay.
So let me also say that that is a disservice to myself in that because I'm not really letting myself be totally coachable, I don't think, in those coaching sessions because I'm trying to figure out. I'm like trying to use two parts. Like, well, what's she doing? What's she doing? What questions is she asking? And that was, and then
It was
you're
really
like,
funny because it was the same price. I was
exactly,
saying, and you still wouldn't
exactly.
choose it. And I
Right.
said, we'll just get started. And then I was like, you really should just do coach training and we're going to start doing it a different way. And you will be the first one in the group. So you will technically get on one and coach training. I remember when we did it because you had a lot of time with me. And
Yes.
we went through you
Yes.
basically being the only student at that time. I think it was such a good thing for you, though.
Oh, it was amazing for me. I benefited in so many ways because part of that too was that you did get to listen to I had a podcast because I was working on my relationship in our one-to-one coaching. And
That's
then you're
true.
like, yeah. And then you're like, and you can go into coach training. You can still do this here. You're still going to have me, but you're also going to learn the
Yeah.
process.
And I think what you said is important too, because the nature of what I give, depending on the container you're in, like I'm disciplined and I don't jump into like if you're here to be a client, then I'm your coach. If you're here to be trained, I'm your teacher. And I think that's important to understand because we do try to get coaching. Let me just give an example. I did a sales training on Monday and I said, so some of you are not going to do crap with what you learn here today. Some of you are going to take everything you hear and go try to do it yourself. And some of you are going to say, hey, I need some help. Could you help me do this and apply it? And the majority of the group put two. I'm going to
Yeah.
take this and do it myself. It goes back to I'm going to tie my own shoes. I'm going to wash my
Yeah.
own dishes. I'm going to like it's it's so silly. Like why do we have such a hard time receiving help other than we didn't get the help we needed or we don't believe we can get the help and so we keep creating the situation of not being helped.
Agreed.
So when we don't buy into it, we don't get it, and then we get to stay right.
Yeah. And we get to say, look, no one can help me. It didn't work.
Mhm.
Didn't work. Her
Did it
thing
work?
didn't work either.
So let's get to your relationship because what the point I was getting to is once you came in and I was working with you privately, and we were talking about your relationship and we also knew I don't even know if we knew you were going to be a relationship coach. You came in thinking you were going to be a mind body coach through the physical
Hmm.
manifestation part,
Correct.
the physical
Correct.
conditions. And then whenever I reviewed the podcast because there was like we were doing some private relationship stuff and I gave you feedback on that, I think that was the turnaround and I was like, oh my god, Meg, like you would be ideal for the communication
You're
relationship
like,
coaching.
I think at that point I had decided I was going to try and be like, I was niching into relationships. But what you said was, You're your own best client right now. Like, you guys listening to this podcast is like, whoa, do you realize what you're actually doing? And so then through coach training, I did transform myself. And then I was my own best client. I did use everything that I learned and, like you said, applied it to my life.
So let's talk about this for a minute for those who are listening, who are coaches and they're trying to coach in their relationship.
So
Because they're
don't do
struggling, right?
it.
Once they become a coach, then they want to fix their kids, they want to fix their partners. They try to bring coaching into the relationship as like an authority of coaching. So
Right.
what would you say to them? Like they probably should hire a relationship coach, but instead they go to coach training thinking they're going to fix it themselves. What would you say to that person?
Right. Just like you said about the sales thing, right? Like, oh, now I'm gonna do it myself. Gosh, what would I say? I can only speak from my own experience. I did it in every relationship, and it actually, being the coach of my kids, it's unsolicited, first of all. No one asked for that. They didn't ask to be coached by me, not my kids, not my mom, not my partner. And it wound up being detrimental for me to try and coach them. Like, just because I have this information doesn't mean I have the right to bring it into them, right? But like, I need to coach myself. I need to get my own coaching so that I am the different person, not needing that person to like, I'm somehow having a superiority complex,
Mhm.
like, oh,
I know better. I know something now.
I know something you don't know. Let me teach you. Let me
Mhm.
show you. And how dangerous that is. It's
And
really
then,
dangerous.
yeah, because what's happening to the relationship with your partner and with your kids?
Now it's creating way more separation. They're like, I don't want that. I don't want you. Like, you're constantly telling me I'm wrong. Ouch.
I'll never forget that when we started doing the sales training. Because how much of your relationships transformed during sales training?
It changed every single relationship in my life. The first rule, always agree. That changed everything because what really it helped me see is that I was always invalidating everyone in
How
my
how
life by
painful is that?
yes. And when someone did it to me, I was like, "Oh, this sucks." And this is what I've been doing to everybody else,
Yeah.
making them wrong, making everyone wrong. Ouch. No wonder. No wonder they didn't. It's like it degrades the trust in the relationship. Like, they can't even trust me just to bring themselves to me, or they couldn't because I was going to judge them or say
hmm
that they should be different or
hmm
how don't they know?
So you came in as a massage therapist who was going to help with the subconscious work that was going to help people heal chronic pain and get over the physical symptoms that they were creating through their own beliefs of the mind,
Correct.
and then ended up becoming an amazing communicator and relationship coach, which I am so excited about. I'm so proud of the work that this has brought to the world. Like literally watching the change in you, the way that you communicate, and everyone in the community says it too. Like you're listening, like the way that you listen and
That's so funny.
allow them to have their own experience without validating, I mean, without invalidating or having opinion or telling them what to do is incredible. Like the work you have done, it's like watching you transform has been such a gift. And I'm just so glad you decided to go forward with the coach training.
Oh
Let's get
my
coached.
gosh. I am so glad that I did too. Literally changed my life. I mean, and even now, okay, so I'm a year out now, almost completely a year out of the training or completed with the training. I'm not out of the community at all. And I still nearly daily, I'm like, oh, that's what that is. Like, more, like, just deeper and deeper levels of the principles all the time. Just, oh, that's what she meant. Oh, that's what this is. Oh, that's what, oh, judgment. Oh, comparison. And also, as you work with more and more people, right? Like, as you have more and more coaching clients, you really get to see principles from different perspectives, like different ways they play out in people's lives. And it's, oh my gosh, it's so let me say this, since we're talking about the principles. Having the principles is what makes coaching any person in any situation doable, achievable, approachable. I'm confident in it because I'm like, oh, I see what this person is doing. This is an example of X, Y, or Z principle. So they're applicable everywhere across the board.
Whether it's in business, whether it's with kids, whether it's with the mind body stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I
then I
agree.
can apply it to myself. Oh, this is what I'm doing. Oh,
So it's
I
just
see.
constant cognition that continues to give back. It's almost like the living Bible, right? It's this, like,
Yes.
you see it as in a new unit of time as the person that you are now. And then when you think back to the first time you heard it, it's like, I already heard this. I already know this. That's what most people say. They're like, okay, that's great. I already knew that. I already knew that. And that's how I know they're still not applying, because until you start applying, you're not going to get the cognition.
That's how
Um,
you knew I wasn't applying, because I'd be like, I know, I know. Yep, I know.
we can't hear what we know. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but one of the biggest barriers to learning and transforming is knowing, which is
Agreed.
insane because we're so afraid to be dumb that we want to know everything, but it's not what we know, it's what we know that ain't so. So when we
Agreed.
say I know, we can't hear what else. Like, what else do we know? What else can we know? How else can we apply this? The other thing is, now that you're teaching coaches inside of our community, which I'm really excited about where that's going, you learn it, the cognition is different because you take a different role. So, first, it's getting coached and how it's applied in your own life. If you're able to apply it, if you're coachable,
Yep.
and then you start working with clients, and each client gives you new cognition, new awareness. You see yourself. They're the best mirror. Working with clients is an
Yes.
incredible mirror.
Still,
You know, that will not
still,
change, by the way. I'm
still.
still receiving that back. And then the next role is to step into leadership and train, like, train the trainer, train the coaches. So I'm training the trainers. You guys are trainers, and now
Yeah.
you're becoming me. So I'm like, okay, now you have to use your communication skills. So if you wouldn't have learned that, and then the relatability, if you wouldn't have learned that, and if you wouldn't have been listening, then you wouldn't be able to help them.
Mm. Mhm.
And so all of that requires something different. So you've just done full circle from student, well, actually from client to student to coach trainer. It's it just keeps giving. It'll never stop giving.
That's one of my favorite parts of this is training the coaches. Oh, I just love it so much. I
What do you
love
love about it?
watching I love watching their little minds be like, I love watching the transformation in them. I will not name names on this podcast, obviously, but watching people have cognition, watching them apply things in their lives, and the transformation that happens as a result of them taking action is it's just so gratifying.
Yeah, it's addictive. It is like I live for those moments. Like, I've that's why my work is so addicted. Addictive. I mean,
Yes.
and there's not much, and I don't know, like, I could judge myself about this or others can judge me, but there's not much satisfactions in things as watching someone's world transform. It's like if you couldn't, like, everything's blurry and all of a sudden you put on glasses. It's
Mm.
such a huge release and understanding, and you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, and I've
Yes,
just
you can see things that you
mhm.
had completely blind to before. Like, you didn't even know that you're operating in a certain way, or what was even causing you to
Mhm.
operate in that way, or what was driving you. None of that. You're not aware of.
Yeah, Tori had a great quote about this, after coach training. She said, "It's like you're in a dark attic, and you have a flashlight, and you're going through stuff." But she said, "Coach training is like, oh, there's a light switch and everything's on." She was like, "I can
Now
see
I can
everything in
see
the
it
room
all. Yes. Yes.
instead
I
of
agree
just
with that.
looking and pointing." And I forgot the exact words for it, but that was like her takeaway, is like the light I didn't even know was like you needed or was in the room or was available.
Yes, was available. Yes, it's so illuminating. Absolutely agree.
So now that you have brought coaching into your massage business, what would you say was the transformation there if there's massage therapists here that because we don't really know about getting a coach in massage therapy. It's like we're a different weird kind of business, right? We're not treated like a real business. So we
Yeah,
don't know
oh,
that you can get a coach to
unfortunately.
for your rates, for handling clients, for renewals, for like all these other things. So
Remember, that was one of the first things that we did was I was gonna increase my rate by 30%, and I freaked out. I was crying on that group call. I was crying because I was like, "I what? No, people are gonna leave me, no one's gonna come back, and now I'm gonna sell the subscription services," and, I'm completely it was required of me to become a completely different person, and that was really scary, and it was so worth it.
mm,
I okay, I for whatever it's worth, I realized this the other day too. Child support for me, for my kids, ended in 2024, and I made more money than ever.
so good.
I was like I literally just realized that yesterday. I was
Oh
like,
wow. So you went
"Holy
from
cow."
I'm raising my rate, so I'm gonna lose all my business. My kids are getting older. I'm gonna lose my child support
Yes,
to having the biggest year ever.
ever.
And you just had to hire someone to take your overflow because you're overbooked with clients.
Yes,
That's
yes,
incredible.
yes, yes.
Well done.
Never would have believed, never would have thought, never would ne didn't even no.
I'm
there
willing to be
was
surprised by what my mind has yet to imagine or experience.
and that was so the benefit of having a coach is, when you can't I couldn't see for me what you knew was possible, and so having you and that community to be like and, get coached through that so that I would do the thing, so that I would take the action because I wouldn't have. I would have there was almost all of me that was like, "Just tell them that you did it, but don't do it."
Interesting. And you said something earlier that it required you to be someone else. And you
Yes.
recently experienced that. We did the Go Hard Challenge,
Oh,
which from day one, you had to become the future person in order to do it. Like I thought it was probably one of the most powerful challenges thing.
it
I'm still in it.
changed. Yeah, I would say I still am too in many ways.
And so when you say you have to become someone else, do you want to talk to the audience about what happens when we talk about the physical manifestations and like what is
Let's
part of
talk
the
about
package
mm,
of becoming someone else? Because there's two sides to the coin and you experienced it for yourself and came out on the other side. So I'll let you tell the story of and it was during the challenge when you decided I'm not going to be this person anymore.
I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to be this version of me. I'm going to be the next version, Meg 5.0, whatever you want to call it. And I had planned to go to Switzerland. And 3 weeks before, I'm going to go on this trip that I've wanted to go on for probably the past 12 years, let's say. I've never been to Europe. I'm leaving my business, not like walking out, but like, right? I took off of work. I am leaving my daughter. I am not going with my partner. I'm going completely alone. This is like even that, having that conversation, right? Yikes. It was like it challenged me mentally. Anyway, I decided I'm going, told everyone, committed to it, and my knees, both my knees, blew out. I am not kidding. It was the most pain, aside from whiplash, that I have ever been in. I could not walk stably, could not, both of my knees, not just one, could not go up and down the stairs. Walt laughed at me because I would be pulling myself up the stairs with the railings or crawling up the stairs. And I'm supposed to go to Switzerland and go hiking. This dream 3 weeks from now. And I was convinced, of course, that it was some I got meniscus tear. We better go see someone.
I overworked. I overused. I
Yeah,
remember
I
that. I remember
overused
you
it.
showed up for coaching because this came out of the blue. You never have physical
It
stuff.
did come out from the blue. It
And you show
literally.
up crying when like you were just like so in this. And I'm like, wait, don't you know what's happening? And
Uh-huh.
you were like, no.
So that's the funny thing about coaching is that like I could coach someone else through that, but when I'm in it, I am so in it and it feels so real. It feels,
Committed.
yes, like I know that this is from running. What? What? You exercise all the time. Like, like I was
Yeah.
so convinced. So, yeah, then we did that session. We did it as a learning experience even.
Yeah,
And
yeah, because
all
it was like, oh, goody, this is what you came in to learn.
I
Oh,
was
you're
like,
obviously going to be doing this work. That's what I thought. Because
mhm.
typically, it's like we're going to go through this and do it. And what was the most for those like that are listening that don't have full cognition of this?
Mhm.
It is so legit. We have 4 clients right now as we speak this week that are down with this, and all 4 just hit the highest point in their life or career. It always happens 100% of the time. One of
It
them
just
has
happened to a client of mine.
oh,
She just finally passed her insurance agent's exam. And now she's like,
down. It's the
mhm.
craziest thing, and you cannot explain it. It is a phenomenon. And it's everything we talk about in the cycle of transformation. It's supposed to happen. You're in coach training, you're hearing about it, you're watching other clients move through it, you're hearing me and Monique on it all the time. Mallory talks about it all the time. But then when you are in it, you want to dismiss and shut down and call it like you are irresponsible and I need to go to the doctor and there is something broken and you don't understand. Yeah, but it really hurt. But it really, like, I can't walk. Like, it's this convincing starts. All of you, like, I had someone recently just had a big change and she fainted. Like, she's fainted out of nowhere. And then another one who's down with a rash and an infection. And it's like, yeah, it's supposed to happen. And they're just like so pissed because I'm saying that. Like, irresponsible. And I'm like, no, this is what you've been learning. This is what we just went
This
through.
is what we just
You just paid
learned
me to teach you about this. We're in agreement until it happens to
until it
you.
happens. Agreed. Until it happens.
You're like, yeah, but no, but I can't walk at all. It's like, yeah, we were like, yeah, we know, we get it. You're like, no,
Monique.
like if you got it, you would understand. No, I hear you. I do understand. So
Monique was the best. She was just like completely
she
unfazed.
she's had the craziest matter of fact this week we were talking about getting all of you together like or at least getting six
Let's.
to eight I think it was your idea 6 to 8 of us on one of these calls and everyone talk about it when it happened to them. I can tell my story about it. Everyone in the community has a story.
Let's do it. It was Monique's idea. And her response to me was so funny in retrospect, but she was just like, I don't understand why you don't think you're going to Switzerland in 3 weeks. And I was like, oh my God,
Can't walk. Not even I can't even carry anything and walk at
I
the
couldn't
same
even
time.
carry my,
You said
yes,
because
I
I need
couldn't
my
carry my,
hands to walk.
exactly. I can't even carry a backpack because I need something to help me walk.
And then what happened? So
So
there's a story here.
then we did
We
this
did a
session.
session. We did a, for those who are curious, this is what we do in mind body coaching.
So we did a session and so many things came up that I didn't know I was still holding on to, like emotionally, personally, about just the way I was supposed to be in relationships.
So we're not going to go into the details of the session, but
Mhm.
you go through the session and now the session's over. And then what happens?
Then I don't have any knee pain and I go to Switzerland and have one of the most transformational experiences of my life.
Is there any way that you can explain that for someone to understand it that's in pain right now? That's because this is only happening to highly driven people. Like it's crazy because it happens to the able.
Ah,
It
mhm.
happens to the overachievers.
Yeah.
It happens to the doers. And that's what makes it so crazy It's always at a pivotal point.
Yes.
It's either right before the big thing that
Or
you
right
just
after.
committed to or after the win. It's
Hmm.
always, it's either when you're about to do it or once you've done it. And once you've done it is
Right.
almost harder. Like that one, I find that one is worse because it's like when you hit the first 100,000, then you have the, oh shit, mom, I got to do it again because you got to start back at zero. That is to me is harder than when you're pushing through up the mountain.
I agree. Because when I'm pushing up the mountain, I'm at least like, okay, but if I keep going, if I keep going, if I keep going.
There's momentum,
Yes, exactly. But after it's like,
nothing to fight for.
uh-huh. Correct. That's exactly right. Nothing to fight for. Nothing to fight for. At least when I'm pushing through, like when we did my event and I had the rash, I was like, I got to go to the event. I'm
Have
not going to
to
not
get
going to
through.
go. I'm not going to not go to the event. I'm
Yeah.
not going to stop promoting the event because I have no voice or have a cold sore. But
So for those who just missed that part, one of the things on Meg's to-do list, one of the challenges was she wanted to do an in-person live event. And so we committed to doing one together, but she had to do all the promoting, all the marketing, find the place because I just did it with her, but it was hers. And what are the things that came up whenever you committed to that you just said?
yeah, I got a cold sore. I lost my voice. My lower back for sure went out. And the day before, I got a huge rash, all my forearm, huge. You can't make that up. Like it just that's
So when someone asked
that's
me
the
what I
mind.
do, I was like, we help wellness practitioners help their clients or patients heal their body with their mind. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, because the mind creates it. And so the mind can create like the way through it is I mean, the way out of it is the way through it. It's like it's
Right.
all the same. And it's all coming from the mind, all coming from the mind. But it's hard to believe that like I heard this 30 years ago, 30 years later, it's still misunderstood. Like that's what blows my mind is hundreds of clients have come through. We're helping so many people and we see it all. It's a fact to us.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
when you're in it, it's just ridiculous. No, you don't want to say, but I felt like it's so bad. Like, no, this is different, right?
Yeah.
The
No, no, no,
unicorn.
no. Like everyone else. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that's true for everyone else, but it
Mhm.
can't be true for me in this circumstance, you know?
Exactly. Like it was true for me then, but it's not true for me right now. Like, no, this like legit, I ran too much. Like it's like,
I was fighting so hard for it. But what you said just really light bulb. And you said you can't believe that it's physical, like that it's
you can't treat, is what I
you
said.
can't, yeah, you
You can't
can't
treat
treat it.
because if you treat it physically, it means you believe it's physical.
Exactly, exactly,
That's where they get
exactly.
caught.
So if you keep, and you said if you keep treating it, well, you said you can. That's what you said. You can keep
Yeah.
treating it, but then what you're saying is that's the problem. So you can either treat that or you can actually,
Release.
yes.
Which one do you
And
want?
that's not exactly, and that's not going to be through. Like I did some weird shock. I treated it once and then I talked to you after and I was like, oh no, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I choose otherwise. And that was when I also
And then
released
just
my
gone.
chiropractor.
Like boom. Literally.
Just gone.
I'm like,
Like
part of me
you,
feels guilty that I don't just talk about this every day, all the time, all the time. I mean, I want to be Abraham Hicks on the stage and just releasing it in the audience. That's really
mm,
what I want to. And then I get tired just thinking of the lash back and
yeah.
and so I was like,
And trying to convince people. It's
yeah.
really hard if people like they say they believe, but then what happens with me happens. And that is no, 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 I'm in it and it's
Is
different.
there anything in you that that wasn't fighting? Like was because it was intense.
Oh.
Where were you honestly thinking? Like they're not listening to me, they're in danger, they're
Mm.
not gonna get like what was the
Initially, gosh, I don't know what it was initially because eventually I just
I'm not gonna tell them I'm just gonna go and treat it.
kind of like the money thing, like right, like okay, just tell them that you raised the price, but you don't have to do it. I probably did think that initially. Yeah, 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 I'm gonna do that. Like
Mm.
I'm gonna go with the releasing it, but then I really did just decide to trust.
That's the moment. That's what Monique says. She's like, I don't know what it is, but when there's a moment when I know that it's unbelievable and it's hard, but I know I have to trust you. And that's always the moment that makes the difference. But she said, I can't explain that to anyone else because I have such trust in our relationship.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's a
Yeah.
big
And I have
ask.
such trust. I had such trust in you and Monique at that time because I know what you've done. I know what you've both been through. B, I know what you've both released. And C, I know the people that you have both helped. So I was like, I am in the right place here. Like I am in it.
Not
And
everyone
this,
has that luxury though of seeing that. Like you guys saw me in it
mm-hmm,
myself. And I think
mm-hmm.
that really helps for staying in. Like I had to see people that were in it and
Yeah.
understand it. I had to keep hearing it like over and over and over. And I love that. Like we have Chelsea in the group and she's such a warrior for this. And I think what I was trying to do before is get it to the marketplace, get it to the public. But those at that point in time, they actually weren't in as strong belief. They hadn't
Yeah.
had those experiences. And then they would cave and then that was happening anyway. So I see it completely different now because we've been in it for so long and have taken so many other people through it. And
Yeah.
then it was just icing on the cake when it happened with you. I
It was
mean,
so great. You're like, oh, good, your initiation. I was like, what? No. Right, I guess. We gotta go through it. And then I did. I just trusted and we set it up. And I was like, I did not ever treat it ever again after
can you
that.
believe there are people still treating that same disc or back or neck or shoulder or like I've
I
heard
can. I
two people
actually
this
have
week.
had clients that tell me flat out, I'm not interested in doing the mind work with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I mean, fair enough. We'll start it, I'll ask a few questions and we'll begin. I get it. Because like we said, it does require you to become someone completely different.
So do you think that's part of the recipe is I'll just tell you flat out in my opinion,
Mhm.
I choose to work with overachievers who have something big to do in the world and they're at risk of not living their purpose. Like it's so spiritually intense that they could just not go through it and they're okay, they've done good enough. But their soul has to do it. Like I choose to work with those people because it's such a big ask.
Yeah.
Like those who have overcome a lot, they've released or healed the old traumas and they just know they're on planet earth to help mankind. I can There's something, right? Like do you have a big purpose, a big vision that and would if you didn't, would you have been able to go through it? Like I know for you, you're so health conscious that you just refuse to not be well.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Precisely. I'm like, I am not living my life like this. This is a no. This is a big fat no for me. That was what I said. I do not accept this. I do not accept this.
Did
And
it
I,
scream louder after that?
I think, yeah. Oh my gosh, it only got worse
It's
for
like,
a
oh,
few
you don't
days.
think
I was like, tomorrow it's going to be tomorrow. And it was like, no, still, no, actually, it's worse. Now you got to go down the stairs backwards.
this is great because you're proving like mindset doesn't work. It's more than mindset. You could not mindset yourself out of it because it's not in the logical mind. So you're like, I don't accept this. I rebuke you, Satan, or whatever. And then
Totally.
you wake up thinking it's over and you're walking backwards because now you can't even walk forward. So it escalated.
Uh-huh.
To what degree would you say it was like 20% more, 30, 50, 100% more? Like how much worse?
It was incrementally worse, probably just like 20% for a few days, like each day. And I was like,
So
oh
as you're
shit.
fighting it and resisting it, it's actually getting worse. Yeah. That's what I think they're trying on their own because they won't come through the process. It's what's happening in the process, which guys, it's an experience. Like it's there's no secret.
Right.
It's just different for everyone.
But I think because of that, like let's say I don't have coach training and I don't have you, but I do believe intellectually that I can heal my body with my mind, but I don't really know how to do it. So when my body is in pain and I'm like, I refuse to be, but it's getting worse, I could see how someone would be like, well, that shit doesn't work. I tried it.
Oh, it was me, 100%. Well, I was a coach of it when it happened. I don't know if you remember the story, but that's when I was in the yard. Like I refused, I rebuked this, like, and I'm walking in my pajamas, like I am in the yard, like fight in pain, half like pulling my leg, and that dog came up behind me, hit me on the butt, threw my toenail into the cement. Like my toe hit the cement, my big toenail flipped backwards, flipped off, flipped
Oh.
backwards, broke my toe in two places, and I just blood squirting out. I fainted to the ground. Like I'm just like, it was so excruciating. I'm outside by myself and I'm crying and screaming and drag myself into the house, like blood trail, drag myself into the house. My husband has to take me to ER. Exactly what you're saying. When I rebuked it, when I refused it, I mean, there was no worse at that point that could have happened.
Mm-hmm. Well, you think, and
And
then
you know what I
it's
heard? I heard this voice, you think that's something. And I was like, holy what is this?
just wait, just wait. Mm-hmm.
Just me. There's no, it's just us.
Exactly.
There's no thing.
So I mean, this is a big, broad takeaway, and I don't know how helpful it is for people that haven't been through coach training. But I think people that listen to your podcast are people that are into personal development, and like no one's listening to your podcast for the first time that doesn't. Well,
I have a
that
little bit of, yeah, probably
yeah,
not.
yeah,
There's not much practical in there.
yeah, that they're on their trail anyway, right? Or on their path. If I created it, then I can also
Yeah.
cure it, heal it, get rid of it, whatever, change it, whatever the
It's a
word
little
is.
woo, Meg.
It is a little woo. It's more than mindset, everyone.
The cool part is for someone who doesn't receive this aspect of it, they can just come into business training and the sales process and learn the same
And it will
exact
change
thing.
your whole life. It will change your whole life. How you deal with people, how you present yourself, how you see people, how people respond to you. It
It's a
changed.
communication course.
Yep. Yes. It
Sales and
changed.
marketing, like everything we do in business it is a personal development program. Like if you guys want to heal your life, open a business and refuse to fail. It's going to get into every nook and cranny of everything that's has not been exposed, has not been fixed, has not been whatever. You will have to confront it because it requires confrontation in order to succeed at a higher degree or in order to become a new identity.
Yeah.
It requires it.
I agree 100%. The confrontation is, I mean, it's over and over again.
Yeah. And when somebody's just mind setting, it's so we have a process
Mm.
that's the step 2 and 3. When you can't confront, you bypass step 2 and 3. And so then these like there's a lot of spiritual and just go do this. But
Yes.
then you don't actually get the results you want. And that's how you know that you bypassed.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much of that bypassing happening.
Wow.
It's
I
like
was doing it too.
spiritual
Yeah.
bypassing, like I shouldn't, I don't need to.
Oh, my body learns like this is what I used to say. I learn through pain
Oh.
because then I seek God. I'm humbled and I seek
Mm.
God. And I mean, I believed that for the majority of my life.
Hmm.
I learned through pain. Oh, yeah, it's just here. It's my teacher. It's the thorn in the
Yes.
side. It was all biblical. I could refer it all back biblically.
Very interesting. And how we talk ourselves into staying someplace.
It's glorified martyrism.
Mhm.
It has a reward,
Oh, yeah.
which is the later life in heaven. Like it has a reward. Like there is it's
It's it's
interesting.
it's that even in relationships too. Like
Mhm.
we
Yeah, I do it for the sake, like I'm going to die to self to give to them, and there's going to be a
yes.
reward in the end. They're going to talk
Uh-huh.
nice about me.
Exactly. They're going to say something nice. They're going to want to be on my side. They're going to like me more. They're going to keep me
They're
around.
all
I'm
going to
like,
come to my funeral,
uh-huh. And say nice things about me.
say nice things about me.
So I'm willing to give up what's really important to
Yeah,
me.
you're a liar.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
And here's the thing: if you're in a small town, everybody dies a hero anyway. You can be an asshole, and still they're going to say good things about you
I
because
feel like that happens all the time in death. Like people, whenever someone dies, people are like,
they were the best. They were the
yes.
greatest. Oh my God! Like
I'm like, you hated that person 3 weeks ago, but okay. Well, I don't know what happened.
we are so weird. All right. So,
Obviously, everyone knows now, like Kim and I get along so well. Yeah.
well, you were such a pleasure. Great student. Glad you went all the way through it. Love seeing where you're going now. I love that you're a part of the team and
Me
helping
too. I
us.
love
We can talk about what's coming up next for you. So, we're just closing out this cycle, guys. Once somebody goes through coach training, they kind of get to the other side, they become the new identity. I like to bring them on, telling their story. It helps, like, even for you, right? To
Yeah.
just move through, close that door,
Mhm.
and then realize, okay, do I just stay here? What's next? Do I go backwards and do that again? And so I think for you is recognizing that you want to step into leadership. You love the work so much. You want to bring it to other people in the world. This is kind of
Yes.
what we're working on. This is brand new for us. We're kind of just letting it all play out. You've been such a huge asset to the community. And I love that you're taking the content with a different flavor, a different language, the
Yeah.
way you're bringing it in and speaking communication and relationship which is a healing modality within itself once we learn how to
Yes.
communicate
Yes.
and relate to people. And I think one of your big things is you said you would love to see this in companies because the people that you're working with, especially the ones who own a business or are big in business,
Yes.
that's the problem that you're seeing is that they're having trouble communicating with
The
other.
problem is always the communication, that they don't understand each other. They don't understand the actions that another is doing. Or if the owner, let's say the owner went through business training or the owner grows and then they have these people that work for them and those people aren't quite on the same page, but they start doing what I was doing in my relationships, which is coaching them.
Mhm.
And that winds up being, it's a liability now because these people are also now like pushing away that business owner. They don't actually want it. Like they feel inferior. They feel looked down upon. Right. And instead of it being a team environment,
It's
it's
really
like,
interesting because so if I go into a company and the owner has hired me to be their personal coach, and so I'm coaching them and they've grown like they're a different person. And then I start coaching their team,
yeah,
the team that rejects the growth or resists the change makes the training bad.
yes,
It's
yes,
And so when the owner comes with it, it's even worse, right?
yeah,
But then even it's so tricky, and which is great that you're bringing the communication part. It's so tricky, like coming in there and validating.
right.
So how would you say that? Yeah, it's like you have to wear
Yeah.
a
It's
different
like coming in and
role.
like, yes, like I have to, like we were talking about validating. I have to understand that that experience is real for that person. Like they actually are having that experience. Whether or not it's true for me doesn't matter. But there has to be this me having, I keep using the word understanding, and I'm not sure that that's the correct term, but a willingness to see them and at the same time still stand in what's right for the company, right? And so then how can we all make sure that we're working in an environment that we're going toward the same goal? So let me just do an analogy, because let's say you're a captain of a team, right? And the team requires that sometimes people sit out for certain matches, right? Like I have to have two people that sit out each match. But if we have an agreement at the beginning of the season that the goal of the team is to win as many matches as possible, and everyone agrees, yep, yes, then it's almost like, okay, well, in that agreement, then we decided two people have to sit out, and this week it's your turn. So it's almost like, well, the person, are they going to be mad? Are they going to, they might be. Yeah, they might not want to sit out. I get it. And I get it. Nobody really wants to sit out. And we agreed that the goal is to, and when we have that goal, the goal is to win. And when we have that goal, then these are the steps that we take to get to that goal. Does
And
that make
so
sense?
you're saying getting them all into agreement. So, in other words, if you want to win, you probably have to do hard things. And the hard
Yes.
thing might be sitting on the bench. The hard thing might be scoring. The hard
Mhm.
thing might be running up and down the field. The hard
Mhm.
thing might be
But we all
if they don't
agreed
see
exactly,
the sitting out as the
as
hard thing.
like, it's the unexpected hard thing, it's the
Yeah.
unexpected, yeah. Mhm.
So what you're saying is preface with clarity and understanding so you get everyone's buy-in so
Ahead
that
of time.
everyone's
Mhm.
on target to hit
Mm.
the target.
All the time.
And you're seeing that when you're working with these people who are changing, that they can no longer relate to the way they used to relate to people.
Correct.
So you're seeing playing
Or yeah, and
energy.
that it wasn't working. They weren't
Yeah, it
actually
wasn't working
getting
anyway. Yeah, for sure.
right. Like, they weren't getting what they wanted. They weren't getting the goal. They weren't hitting the
So
target.
so are you loving working like with the owners in their personal relationship? Or are you feeling more drawn to help them with what's going on in the business or both? Like what do you
Yeah, I love both.
you
I
like
love
both?
both. I love it both because I think that it's the same thing. The principles are the same. The foundation is the same, and I love it. I
Mhm.
love because when we can affect that part of our lives, when we can affect change in that part of our lives, I think we again, it turns on light, it illuminates everything.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
oh,
our
this is
we have people
universal.
problems. It's our
Yeah.
biggest problem is communicating and relating with people, whether it's in business and
And
love,
you relating,
parenting.
relating.
So I
Yeah.
really love that that's the space that you've chosen. Because in relationship coaching, I mean, there's so many different aspects that you can pick.
Yeah.
I like you prefer working with the high achiever because they're willing to do the deeper, harder work
They're
because
always willing to do the hard
cost
thing.
of
Mhm.
not doing it is so hard. So it's not to say I don't want to help anyone. I do we
Right.
just can't. We're out of I mean, there's only so much time and space in physical form that we can. I had to start choosing, which was very painful because I wanted to help everyone.
Yeah.
And then one day, I don't know if you saw when I drew this out, I realized I'm trying to help everyone like here, out here in the real world. But then when I look at where are the majority of people have jobs. So if I can go to the owner or the top of the business and I can impact there, then all of those people who have a job can impact the next generation. And then
Yeah.
I could impact more people by doing that. That was, I remember having that moment because I
Yeah, I
really had a
remember that.
problem. You remember that?
Mm. Yeah.
And then I came to the awareness of like, so that the target is helping millions of people become empowered, like in their own life, health, wealth, relationships through mind body modalities. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't have a big enough following. I can't impact millions by myself. But if I can train hundreds of coaches,
Yeah.
I mean, it might be maybe one of my coaches will impact a million and I'll have hit the target.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
couldn't see that before. I didn't want to sit out like
Yeah.
what you're
Yes.
saying. I
Yes.
didn't want to not be the person coaching.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm not the person coach. I like it's so I don't blame them for not wanting to sit on the bench to win the game.
Right.
I don't want to sit on the bench. I don't want to
Right.
not be the coach on the call.
It's really hard when it's not the way that we think it's gonna be, but
And yet
can
I
we?
know the coaches that I've trained, like, you and Monique and Mallory and like y'all are so much more powerful because you have a more singular focus. I was like,
Mm,
I have like multiple focuses. So it's
yeah.
like when Monique puts her mind to it, like woof, when you put your mind to it, woof, it just goes in that direction.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
easier said being in it
Mm-mm. Yeah.
when
It's
you're
like
used to being the doer.
right. That's like with the pain thing. It's easy for you to say. You're not.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt me.
Yeah.
And I know I'm right.
I love it.
All right. So that's where you see yourself going. So you are still in massage. You're just replacing like you're gonna still do that for like in the meantime, but you
In the
have someone
meantime.
else coming in, which is yay. That's called
Yes.
scaling.
Yes.
Incredible. Because there was
Yes.
a time where like first you had to fill it up, then you got to get overfull. Now you got to go into like helping develop other people in order to take these clients, which I think you've worked with that massage therapist for a year. So that's great. You're
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I worked with her. We did coaching.
Mhm.
We we did coaching for you.
All right. Is there anything that we didn't touch upon as we close this cycle and move into, I don't know what do you think we're going to go create? It's going to be so fun.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so fun. Oh, my cat's here for confirmation. Yeah, just like a brand, a business. you have the business and the brand is being built. And I mean, I feel like it's more solid than ever in terms of
Yeah, yeah.
the mind body business mentorship, but just affecting every aspect of, like, we say it in business, but it's also like you have to grow the owner to grow the business.
Mhm,
So it's affecting every single part of their life, personal growth and development and
mhm.
transformation and change.
It's really interesting to watch the platform switch from what I thought we were going to do to actually becoming like coaching services, all
Mm,
these aspects. But when I first started it, it was my mind trying to create it instead of allowing it to evolve with the right people in the right place.
yeah,
And so it feels funner. I was just talking to another client earlier today, and it's like forming these partnerships. Like we're talking to massage schools and franchises and coming in and helping them like with the training because there's a problem. There's a lack of competent massage students.
agree with that.
And so as we better qualify these, it's just going to help. Like that's how we're going to impact the millions of people. So
Yeah.
when I was doing one-on-one with this solo massage therapist, it's like really slow moving. It's like there's not a lot of incentive because they don't have a lot of overhead. But when I'm talking to someone who has 100 franchises and they're having this issue that we can solve with all of the franchises, I mean, they're just going to,
Yes.
and then we got
Yes.
all the pieces covered. We even have someone who's like developed, we have a scrub company. You know, we have someone in finances, we have marketing covered, we have sales covered, we have the
So
coaching part, the
exciting.
mindset covered. So it's like what we will be able to do for the wellness industry
Yes.
and place coaches in those companies, or we can
Yes.
train their coach if they have someone in house, which I think would be ideal.
I think it would be great also.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amazing. All
Such an
right.
asset.
Anything you want to add before we say goodbye?
Oh, I cannot think of anything else. I feel like we've covered so much. I recommend it to anyone considering it. 100 out of 10 go through coach training. It will be the biggest transformation. It was the biggest transformation of my life.
But you might have to come in through business training first, through business coaching first, like Meg did.
Yes. Well, yeah,
It's
like
so
you
funny
have
you
to,
were paying for not to
like,
pay.
I was just following the little breadcrumbs along the way. So yeah, I mean, however you get there, but if you're considering it at all, I mean, I'd love to know what people's legitimate concerns are.
So tell me this before we hang up.
Mhm.
Who were you and who are you now when you said you had to become a new identity?
I was someone that only knew where I was going and what to do based on people's response to me. So like, are they happy? How did they it wasn't conscious. I wasn't asking myself those questions, but that was how I would gauge my next move was like, oh, okay, that he did that. No, I'm gonna now I do that. He did that. Now I don't do that.
So interesting. So I totally relate to this. I just did that podcast a couple of weeks ago about my
Yeah.
takeaways from Elaine's mastermind that talked about
Yes.
this. So who you were is someone who was always reading the room to determine what was your next step and what was going to be allowed.
Absolutely.
And who you are now,
Is someone that decides and does.
that's incredible. Whatever you want.
I decide I do, and then I assess. Is this what I really want? Is this where I want to go?
How hard is it to release what others, how others will respond? Because I feel like that's a big question for the audience. Like, what happens? Because it's still there.
Oh,
What do you try?
yeah, it's still there. Like,
How do
oh
you
man, he's
overcome it?
gonna be pissed. My kids aren't gonna like that. No one's gonna want to do that. Blah, blah, blah. It's always there, but I can't allow that to be what makes the choice for me. Because then I'm not choosing. Then they're always choosing. Then I'm not choosing my life.
They,
They're
the
this,
voices, right?
yeah. The voices that I've projected onto other people in my life.
Yeah.
That's who was deciding before. And I'm like, well, that's not what I want though. I
It's
don't want that.
almost like you've lost that part of your mind, like
It's
lost its validation, right? Of or the
it's
the power behind
also the power that it had for
it. Mhm,
sure.
mhm. So
And
even
I
though it's
can
there, it doesn't have power. It's like the swatting it like the little gnat. It's
right.
there.
It's
But
there.
it doesn't have power and attachment, but you can see it, but
I
it no longer owns you.
that's the power of me, is that I'm like, oh, I can see it, but I can choose. Whereas before I wasn't actually making a conscious choice. I was just like, oh, she doesn't like that. Oh, okay, let me do something different. But it's reactive.
We could get into,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll be
We'll
back.
save that for the next one. We'll do that cover that on podcast number
Yeah,
3.
we need to select a hand. Maybe we can just do groups of 4 because I think that would be more impactful than trying to get everyone, 8 or 10 people. It'd just be too many
Yeah.
people for the takeaway. It would have to be
Agreed.
long. But if we could get 4 people and just talk about how it showed up, how the barriers and the self-imposed limitations showed up and what we gave credit to, like who we thought it was or what we thought it
Yes.
was. Cause for me, it was like I was gonna like go to hell. I wasn't gonna go to heaven. I wasn't doing right by God. It wasn't like a literal person.
Yeah. Oh gosh,
Amazing.
those self-imposed barriers. That's a good one.
Okay. We will do that. Thank you for joining me. I
Thank
will
you for
put
having me.
your links below if anyone wants to find you, social media,
Yes.
email, whatever new thing we create. You guys are going to
Yeah.
see a lot of us coming up. We've got some fun, fun things on the horizon of what we're building behind the scenes. And
Yeah.
we'll be revealing soon.
Yes. Very exciting. Very exciting.
All right. Until next week, guys, if you know someone who could benefit from this, please share it. If you would like to help me get the message out, or me and the coaches, giving us a rating and review would be amazing. Getting some feedback and sharing it on your social. If you happen to see me around, just hit the little arrow so that other people can find it. Until next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of More Than Mindset.